in the 2.5 months you've been in the role, what's been the easiest part? What's been the hardest part?
Easiest part was it's like riding a bike. Okay. The kind of real estate company that my family started that I then worked in for that decade plus was all culture and heart and family oriented. And we managed to maintain that feeling even though we got bigger. And when I showed up here and I met the team, it was like going home. This is the same kind of real estate company that I grew up in. Right. So I kind of know what to do. Right. Like it's not like there was no learning curve on how to do this. Now the learning curve is that I've never worked at a Fortune 500 company. I never worked at a public company. So I have a long list of things that I'm not going to say and I'm not going to do.
Wait, hold on, time. You just went like this. Do you actually have a list?
Sticky notes. Don't say this. Don't say that.
Yeah, I got in trouble with HR like 4 times. Same thing. I come from like a privately owned, we were flying by the seat of our pants kind of environment.
Yeah, and it's easy enough. I mean, I did radio for a number of years where you can't curse, and so I learned how to like express myself free form without dropping F-bombs, and so it's not that hard. But I think the hardest part, and I wouldn't say it's hard, keep my mouth shut for a while and going to meetings and not saying anything and coming out being like, I wonder if I should have said something. Like, are they wondering what's going on up here? Is there anything going on? I don't say a word. We're in a 2-hour executive committee meeting and I barely say a word. And that's not my instinct. You can see, anybody watching this knows that I can just keep running at the mouth for as long as you need me to. So I guess the hardest thing, I just came into this knowing that I had a lot to learn about how to deal with an organization this resourceful. Like there's a lot of things that I used to just go ahead and do because I was a CEO of a small business. And so I did a lot of it. I made most of the decisions. I pulled the trigger and, like we are hiring a regional vice president in Houston. As soon as I got the green light, I called the recruiter and said, go find me somebody. And then a week later, I get a phone call saying, hey, Greg, just want to let you know, like there's like a protocol that you have to follow through. You're supposed to like request this from the department that does talent acquisition. I'm like, oh, really? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. And so it's those kind of dopey, clumsy moves inside of a company this big. The upside of that is that we've got all the money of God to work with here. I mean, we've earned $500 million worth of free cash flow in the last couple of years. And so we're dangerous to our competition. And we've got a senior leadership team, Ryan Schneider. I like him. I like the fact that he is aggressive. He's also a gentleman. He's nice to be in meetings with, but he wants to win. And we're in such my timing's impeccable because we rode through some leaner times. Now we're here and it's like we're armed to the teeth to go out and win. And we've got new business models attacking us from all sides, very well-funded venture capital funded companies attacking us from all sides. But I still think that if you're as armed as they are with capital and tools and technologies and green lights to run, and you have the heart that this company does, a 100-year-old company, right? You have that culture that they don't have. They haven't been around long enough that they don't value the culture. I know this about those companies, that we can get what they have. We now have what they have, which is a lot of free cash flow to go to town. But them getting what we have, like either you know this or you don't, and it doesn't happen overnight. Yeah. So I love our chances because of what I've said from the very beginning of this conversation, which is it's an emotionally charged product, which means the people supporting people is a crucial element of doing this well. And if all you are is a pack of mercenaries that got recruited together, but you don't care about each other, and you don't even think it's important to care about each other, you're not going to be able to stop us. And I don't think long-term they're going to be able to keep up with us. And I don't think they'll be around in 100 years, but I think we will be.